What is up? It's the Figure Hunter, and today we've got a review that's a little bit off the beaten path. As many of us are facing Memorial Day, many of us in the CrossFit community are preparing to do the Murph workout, which is a 1 mile run followed by 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats, followed by another 1 mile run, and always with the full version being with a 20-pound weight vest. So a lot of us are preparing or maybe starting to prepare a little bit for that. Obviously your daily training will be some part of the preparation, but as somebody that likes to see how much suffering I have endured, I wanted to share a video for how you can track your Murph workout using a Garmin watch and get it all in one big mass. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I've got a number of other videos and reviews on the way. So when you look at your options, you basically have three basic options. The first option is just for any of the Garmin lineup because there are limited capabilities with some of their lineup. And that is just to track it as one big workout, one big cardio workout where the GPS is off and you just know you're running a mile because you know the distance already marked out. Or with the GPS on and then you can see the distance you've run, but it's going to obviously have some distance added in there for the time doing the pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats. So that's option one, and that applies to like all Garmin watches. Just do one big activity, and you can even use the lap button in the bottom right to track your rounds, because as many of us obviously go through the Murph workout, we start to get delirious and start to lose count of how many rounds we're doing the partition style. And you know, I won't even comment on the big debate on whether non-partitioned is a RX version or partitioned. So that's option one for everybody. Option two applies to those with multi-sport tracking watches, and that's the ability to record some sort of activity within more than one sport at any given workout. And you have two basic options. Now, what watches include this? This is basically Garmin's 745 and up and their Phoenix series. Whether it's an old Phoenix or a new Phoenix, they're Forerunner 745 and up, and this includes to all the higher end, upper echelon. And it includes now the Instinct 2. So the Instinct 2 has all sorts of new features that the Instinct 1 didn't have, and multisport is one of them. So what are the options within those of us that have a multisport watch? Because there's a couple of really cool ways to do it. So the first way is you build a Murph workout and you make a multisport, and in the multisport you have running and then you have some version of cardio or CrossFit. I'll put a link in the description below for how you can build your own CrossFit dedicated sport profile, and then you have running again. And so it'll ask you, what's your first activity? Run. What's your second activity? Cardio or CrossFit or whatever you want to put it as, is some more of the general. And then what's your third activity? Run again. And so then you're off to the races. You get started and you just sort of track your time, but there's a real issue with the multi-sport function, which is why I'm doing this video. So obviously, just so you know, you can do that with multi-sport capabilities in the Garmin watch lineup. You can build your own Murph workout. But when you use the multi-sport capabilities and you push this little bottom right button to what normally in a cardio workout or a CrossFit workout would track your lap time, which is for us would be your round time and the number of rounds you completed, and you can set up the watch to see the number of rounds you've completed and how many rounds you have left. If you push that bottom button, that switches over to the next activity. So that's a major downside because I do not want to use my brain at all when I'm in the middle of the Murph, and so I want to be able to track it with the watch and also be able to see my split time so I can see if I'm declining in progress. Now, the pro or the benefit of using a multi-sport is you actually get transition times. So you basically put that bottom button, it says, okay, you're in between activities. So you're coming off the run, you're catching your breath, and you're getting ready to hit the pull-up bar. And then you push the button to start that middle section. And then you push the button again when you get done with the whole middle section, and then you're sort of catching your breath to go back on that run. So you get a transition time, and it sort of creates, the ability to see what your transition time is. But in option one with option A, I guess, within the multi-sport family, I just find that's not helpful if you can't use the lap button. So option two within the multi-sport lineup, I don't know if I went to A, B, but option two within the multi-sport watch options is you can actually change activities mid-activity. And so we're going to look at this on the watch in both options together on the watch to see what it's like, but you change mid-activities from a run to a CrossFit or cardio and then back to a run, and it captures it as one big workout. And when you change from run to CrossFit or cardio, you can hit that bottom button and all the lap functions work perfectly. So with that, let's dive in, take a look at it, and then come back together and talk about it. All right, so here you have it. This is the Garmin Instinct 2, which I'm just going to set my hands down so I don't move as much, which is the only Garmin I have right now because I've just had to save my money to be able to buy the 955 and 255 whenever it does happen to be released. So option one, let's say you want to create your Murph workout. So I have half Murph, but actually I shouldn't have even titled it half Murph because it's really dependent on however many rounds you do and however long it takes and however far you run. But you basically go down into the expanded menu for sport profiles, and you have multisport. It's just a generic multisport. There's triathlon I think in here too, but you just select the multisport. You can call it whatever you want, and you just say custom. And then you go through and you name it Murph. So we're not going to go through all the steps, but you just put a name on it, and then you go back to the check mark to say, yes, this is the name that I want it to be. And then you choose your activity. So the first one you're going to choose is run, choose activity 2 is CrossFit, and then you're either done or you choose activity 3 and it's run, and then you're done. So now you have all your workouts, your activities. So the first activity is run, second activity is CrossFit, third activity is run again. You could add, you could change it. You could track transitions or not track transitions. You get all these different things. Now the auto lap allow means you push this button. So on the Instinct 2, you have to turn this on for this button to activate as a round counter. So lots of different things, but either way, you get to the end of it and you have your brand new activity with all the workouts, and you say done because you want to definitely save that, and you just set it as a favorite. So then when you go into it, you're ready to go. It's going to look for GPS. You started. So now you got the pace, you're tracking your run, and then you push this bottom right button to be able to track the transition. So now it's just sort of saying, okay, you're in between, you haven't started your official, pull up, push up, air squats, your transition time's being tracked, you push it again, and boom, you're off to start the second thing. And then you have, same thing happens, you have a transition, and then you go back to the run, and then you could push this again, but it's just saying it's complete. And so it'll wrap it up here, or see if it'll ask you if you want to wrap it up here, if you want to save. If it was an accidental, so you basically save, we're going to just discard. And we're going to look in the app in a second at what that looks like. So that is option one. So that is the most simple option for using a multi-sport, because it's just going to know where you're going and what you're doing. The other one that I think is fantastic is you just start with your run. You're just going to start a run, and it's just going to say you're ready to go, and you say start, and you're doing your run, you hit the full mile, and now you go to as if you're going to stop the workout, but that just brings up a menu of options. So you push this, and this will pause the workout, and it'll say what options do you want to elect. And so you can resume, save for later, or you can, change sport. So here, in the middle of the workout, I'm going to change sports to CrossFit, and now it's starting the CrossFit time frame. So it's now starting to count time, although this Instinct 2 has a lag time, and you say resume. So we're ready to go. So we're starting part 2 of this workout, and you can see I have set this up in the orientation that I wanted in my lap time, and then LL is the last lap time. And so you have your number of laps, and you start tracking off when you've completed a set of 5, 10, 15, or however you're partitioning, 10, 20, 30. And every time you click it, you're going to get another count. And so you get through all of them, and it's going to show you, you clicked all 20, and then now you're done. And so you go back to pause it, and then it's like you can be done here. You can resume straight back to the 5, 10, 15 section, or you can say change sport. And then you go back into the run. You're like, okay, I'm off to do my run. And it's off to the races. Now it's ready to go with the run section. You just have to push resume, and it'll start back up. So your transition time isn't recorded, but you are recording your lap times, your round times for each of those subsets. That really helps just for anything to have a counter. And you can change your pages to have like one big counter, so you just know what round you're on. You can have just a lap counter in the middle. So that's how you do it, and then you get done with the run, you push stop altogether, and it's going to ask you again, and you just say save. And it'll look like what we're going to see in a second when you go into the app. So let's look at what the results look like, and it is going to be, I think, almost the same results with either one. So we're just going to look at the one that I did from Sunday, or yesterday, I guess, the half Murph that I did. All right, so this is the Garmin landing page we've all seen. You know, you have your basic tenets of the things you see, and if you scroll down, you could look this up within the activities, but you scroll down, you can see there's a carry multisport, and it includes multiple different things. So you click into it, and you can see at the bottom, it's got the run, it's got the 10 rounds for time, and then it's got the run again. So the half mile, 10 rounds for time, half mile again. And you can see that it was just, you know, it just tracks each little piece, so you can see what your run time looks like. You can dive into the right where the little like heart rate graph looking thing is, and you can see now my heart rate monitor wasn't working in the first part, so but you can see all your details for the run as if you did a standalone run, all the statistics if you have any interest in that. And then you go back to the left, and you can see your split times. You can see how long it took you to do the actual pull-up, push-up, air squat section. You can obviously see the training effect, and this is the training effect of this particular piece. But you can also see the little circular track in the top. You can click that, and you can see your split time. Now, there's a couple times where I forgot to click the button, but in general, I was rounding at about 1:20. So, you know, I'm not the fastest, but 1:20, and then I can see if I am working on Murph to get ready for the big day, that I could redo it and try to carve that down to 1:18 average. But you can see all of that in this one big workout. So it saves each of them separately. I do believe, now that I'm thinking about it, and I do believe that it would actually give you a singular training evaluation. So this is actually individual training evaluations for each little aerobic training effect that you accumulated. I'm not sure that it gives you a summary, but you look in the first run, if you just look at this as an example, this is a training effect of 1.1, and I was just running a 5-minute mile pace for a half a mile. But then in this last one, I do think actually it's got a training effect of 3.3. Now that's not just from a half mile run at a 5-minute mile pace. That is the whole kit and caboodle with the workout. You can see on the midsection, training effect 3.0, so it is amassing more training effect as time goes on from each of the subsets. So you could look at the last one. So I guess in summary, you could look at this last one and see what the training effect is for the workout on the whole. Obviously, it's going to give you a recovery time on the whole for the whole entire thing. So with that, let's talk about it. And actually, you can see a full multi-sport where this was one from the past where I actually did use the multi-sport option. And you could see it's running, and this thing was running, rowing, and a CrossFit Metcon type thing. But you can see the transition times, but you also don't have a summary page for the training effect. You actually have to dig in, and that's the summary training effect. So this is, looks like the row. So the ended on the row. The training effect here is the total for the whole entire workout. So that's how you see it, and it's the same on both. And that's it. You have a slew of options you can do to get out there and make it happen with the Murph workout and push your best times and see what your times are depending on what model you choose. As you can probably tell from me, I'm going to go with option 2 within that multi-sport option set, to be able just to change from one activity to another in the middle of the workout, so I can use the lap button, I can count my rounds, I can see my round times, my split times for each individual 5, 10, 15, and then I can track to see if I'm falling off pace, if I need to speed it up, or if I'm slacking on myself, just to be able to keep an overall pace so that I can track, try to set an overall final goal time to complete the workout. So let me know in the comments below what you choose to do. Let me know if you're doing the Murph workout. Let me know if you know what the Murph workout is, but just let me know. I'd be curious to hear what method you take to just track the workout. So with that, it's a Figure Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.